Here we have a newer Davinci Spartan. This is a high pivot enduro bike. Every bike that comes through here has a tip to tail inspection.
Nick, our service writer, called this one out for not having enough compression. When we flip this switch here, the shock is supposed to get quite a bit firmer, making it harder to push through the travel. So the manufacturers, after every 200 hours of use, they recommend that every seal be replaced in the shock as well as the oil, and that everything just be taken apart and checked for proper function.
I see here that the front brake housing is going to need to be replaced. It looks like it's going to be Shimano housing, so I'm going to go grab some. We try to keep the most frequently consumed items in inventory. Brake rotors, brake pads, tires, and also contact points like grips. They wear pretty quick, and so we try and keep a variety here in stock on hand at all times. And now this bike will be ready for the MasterTechs.
We need to replace the rear brake hose because it's got a pinch on it. And then the wheel bearings are also a little bit rough, so we're gonna replace those and go ahead and get the wheels off and get started on that. Safety first, so we definitely need to glove up. Working with brake fluid, you don't want that on your hands. Chop the hose to get the barb and olive off of it. Thread my favorite cable routing tool into the end of the hose. Make sure it's securely in there, and then I can go ahead and pull this through the frame. Some bikes you don't even necessarily need to do this because they're fully guided on the inside, but it's always a nice little bit of peace of mind to have the tool there to help pull things through. So now that I've got my hose out of the package, I'll go ahead and reassemble everything. Go ahead and thread the new hose onto here. So at this step now that we have the hose routed, I have it chopped to the right length to go back into the lever. Here we're just pressing on the new barb. You got to get your lever boot on, lever nut as well, and then we can go grab, we got the olive that goes on the end. This is what forms the seal. So once I tighten everything down on here, this nut here will tighten this and actually crush it a little bit, deform it out to the outer edge of the brake lever, and make sure that no air can get in, no brake fluid can get out. At this stage, we will want to set it to the correct torque. Grab my bleed funnel and attach that up here. In this step, you got to be a little bit careful of. I do reset the brake piston into here. Shimano uses ceramic brake pistons on a lot of its brakes, so you want to be really careful to get these straight back into the bore. Otherwise they can get crooked and they'll crack, just like your ceramic coffee mug or plates. Go ahead and get my bleed block in there. So this is the special Shimano hydraulic brake fluid. In here I like to usually put about somewhere about 15 to 20 milliliters up here at the syringe. Get the wrench on the bleed fitting. Since we just installed a new hose, I'm not really worried about that bubble right now. So I'll just go ahead and crack this open about 1/4 to 1/2 turn and start just pushing my brake fluid through. Now that I've pushed it all through from the syringe, I'll go ahead and close the bleed port off. So now I'll move up here and give the lever a pull. Just tap the lever a little bit to get any bubbles that are caught on the edges on the entrance and exit to the hose, mainly inside of the caliper. Once I do this and I stop seeing many bubbles come up through here, what I like to do is go ahead and push it back through this way. I'm not exactly sure why, but it does seem to help make the brakes feel just a little bit more crisp. So once I've got most of the large bubbles out and everything's feeling good, I'll close it up. Pull my bleed block out. Carefully reset the pistons one more time. Seal the lever up. Get our security clip back on there and we're good to go. And that's the hose replacement and brake bleed. Now that the bike has the brake hose installed, the brakes are bled and ready to go, I'm going to be relocating this to the line buffer so that we can do final adjustments of the brakes, drivetrain, and quality control.